It's Dr. Reagan, and this is Crown Talks. Dr. Misher and I are jumping straight back into part two of It's Getting Hot in Here. We're talking perimenopause, menopause, hormones, intimacy, you name it, we got it. Let's go. Are there options for women who can't take hormones at all?
Yes, there are non-hormonal medications that can help with hot flashes, your mood, nutrition, movement, sleep hygiene, stress management can be better. Vaginal moisturizers and lubricant that can help to ease dryness that you may having. And sometimes just being heard and validated lifts that burden enough to help you clearly think again and see yourself and look back at that mirror like, okay, I still got it. Like, let me keep going through here. But sometimes you just need that pep talk. You need that girl that's beside you that's going to tell you in and out. But there are absolutely non-hormonal medications that can assist and working in supplements and things as well.
Perfect. Speaking of supplements, menopause products are now a $1 billion industry. Should we be cautious?
Yes, menopause is trending, but not everything on the shelf is helpful or safe. I always like to call that out, but it's overwhelming. Like you go to Walmart, you go to CVS, Walgreens, no matter where you are, it's overwhelming. This is listed there. So which one should I pick? Which one should I not? I'm from it. And so I often tell women to don't get sucked into like marketing or this is gonna save your soul from those. And to replace it with medical advice, like always bring it back to your provider. Like, hey, like what does evidence state about this? Or some of these things there's included, may kind of add to another medical condition that you have or make things worse with it. So that gets back into that individualized pieces of it. So don't get sold on a supplement from it. What you need is a plan, what that plan is going to do for you. We need more products that's made specifically for Black women in mind, absolutely, and not just marketing to us. So we need to peel back those layers, understanding what the evidence is behind that. Was it research? Was it not? Has it, what is the evidence that's been stated there? And that's one of the tough things about supplements when you go out into those different stores or you're buying them online or if you're on TikTok and buying different things. Not everything has been studied in research, and you deserve that. You owe that back to your body to put things in that you know what's going in.
I don't know if y'all paying attention, but Dr. Misher is dropping gems, okay? Like one after the other. Okay, so you talked about dietary suggestions. What do you have one or two dietary or lifestyle suggestions that you recommend for managing the most distressing of our symptoms?
Yes, when I like we talked about with nutrition, especially as we're in the perimenopause stage and thinking about protection of our bones from it and the longevity, I'm a huge component of reshifting what we eat as far as eating your protein first, then go to your vegetables and then your carbs to kind of help to reset, to kind of balance around that. Thinking about our culture is deep and what we eat is centered around our culture as well. And I'm a huge component of don't get rid of everything that's fried or everything, that has, this cholesterol. Do things in moderation to kind of balance it. If you like your collard greens, keep your collard greens. But think about maybe I'm not going to have fried chicken this week. I'm going to do grilled chicken instead, and to kind of to balance that piece of it. Think about things of decreasing process. We are such in a busy world, busy life. We're on the go. It's so convenient for us to stop and buy something that's microwavable or to go through someone's drive-through. And I want you to take a pause to think about those components, just because there's a lot of additives to that impacts our heart health, that impacts our mind and cognition, that can be sending you down a spiral. So if you can meal prep as much as you can, do that. From it. If you're going to have a day where you need to eat out, that's okay too. Just get back on that, that bicycle and keep going forward. Don't let it, suck you down the trail where you get it back off track. And I think with all nutrition, coupling it with exercise, try to get the exercise in, even if it means like during your break at work, you went and you walked around the room or you was able to go outside and go walking from that. Or even getting up earlier than what you have been, or you decided to like, hey, I want to go for a walk to clear my mind. Those are beneficial, and they're small moves that make a long impact. Don't take it for granted.
Absolutely. I've been trying to do that. So I've been following your page and getting your tips up and trying to do a little bit more of that. Try is the operative word in there. So now I want to do like a really quick rapid fire non-hormonal suggestions. If you can give me one or two words or a tip or two for each one of these. Hot flashes, night sweats.
Exercise. If you decrease your caffeine with it. Try to not do it 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, or alcohol.
Mood swings.
Mood swings, really the outdoor, this vitamin D with it. Vitamin D is often low with us as women of color. So getting some vitamin D and getting outside, letting that sunshine can really lift your mood.
Fatigue.
Magnesium glycinate is good to be your friend. It's a lot easier on your stomach instead of like oxidate or calcium, so you're not in the bathroom all the time with it, but it'll help you get some great rest at night.
Low libido.
My goodness. Low libido, ashwagandha is amazing from that as well. And it can help with your mood. So you can get a double dip there. And what's wrong with double dipping? Go ahead and get it. You can get it for sure. That vaginal moisturizers are key, as well, just to determine out what the low libido, why is it present on this there. So absolutely, ashwagandha get you some.
Body odor.
Body odor can be a good thing for detoxing with it, making sure that you're removing anything with aluminum in it as well. Finding a different deodorant, making sure that you're utilizing things that's not scented, because scented things can wear up things more than you smell great for just that moment, then you done cooked up something that wasn't supposed to be there, and with it, and it can get you unfresh quickly. So unscented things and just being aware.
And one more. Let's do palpitations.
Yes, palpitations again can be circulating alcohol from it, or coffee. It can also be something that where we just need to take some deep breathing and some journaling because our mind and things is going, so it takes a moment just to kind of calm down. So what I recommend is before you get up out of the bed, take some deep breaths. So you breathe in through your nose and slowly let it out through your mouth, and it drops those shoulders, and it's really kind of to reset your mind and telling you to slow down from it and take those pauses and breaks.
Yay, thank you so much. That was really, really great, and takes me actually into the very next thing that, again, your amazing website and great tips. One that I did see, one of your short videos, was about just smiling. Can you share a little bit about that and walk us through that?
Yes. Oh my gosh, the value of a smile. Have you ever, you going into a store and you could be in a bad mood, or your mind is just somewhere else, but someone to smile on you, to smile at you, it lights up your world from it. In the background, we got all these chemicals that's going on from it, and that smile helps to relax you, and it brings you so much peace. And so I always tell above everything that you're doing, always take time to smile, even if it's smiling at yourself in the mirror. It gives you just that calm inside of it, and that self-talk. But a smile is so powerful, and it's just the oxytocin that it releases from that, and the relaxation with it can boost your mood 10 times. So yes, I love a smile.
So just smile, y'all. Take a
Yes,
few
smile.
seconds right now, just do it and see if you feel better.
Yes.
It does make you feel better though,
Mhm.
even when you're not even trying. Okay, so let's talk intimacy. Everything. I think people really want to get into intimacy. And you talked a little bit about that, but can you give us a little bit more about how menopause affects sexual health and intimacy, and how can we talk about that without shame?
Absolutely. So sometimes we have this thought that when we go into menopause that our sex life is just going to be done, and that is far from the truth. There's a pendulum. You never know which side of the you're on. Some women libido is completely gone, others is super high because they've had a shift. And it's each his own. It's individualized. And I think one of the biggest things is to identify is when did it occur and why is it occurring?
Yeah.
Because oftentimes that as it like we got a stressful time at work, my libido going to be gone too. So really, is this situational, or is it something that's going on within my body? Within perimenopause and menopause, when you have that drop of estrogen, everything decreases. And the first thing that you normally would notice some symptoms in is some vaginal dryness, because you have less estrogen that's going in those vaginal tissues. And because of that, that can cause pain with intercourse. It can cause pain right on within penetration or during the middle of that, where I started out, I had a lot of lubrication and then it was gone because that lubrication that's not there. And those tissues needed that estrogen back to help to create that. And the same thing that can happen when you mention about stigma and how can we talk about it? Let me tell you a secret. The majority of the providers that we go to, most of them are waiting on you to say something about your sex life. You on the other side are waiting on us to bring it up from it. So guess what? Because we waiting on each other, nobody gets to talk about it. And I want you to take a moment to say, you know what, we've had this stigma like, hey, what stays in our household stays in our household. We don't talk about these things, but these are absolutely things to talk about. Having intimacy from it, and however you define intimacy, because there's a lot of different ways to define intimacy, is so, so, so important. So don't feel afraid to bring those up. And all I always say, encourage women is that sometimes talk about it with your friends first, from it, or your sister. Bring it in slowly. Now, I don't want you to feel like you got to go to work and like and put your home everything on Front Street. Work your way, and you don't need to go to work if if you don't want it to go there. But talk to someone that you're close to, and that's going to be open. And it may not be your provider as the very first person.
Yeah.
I also encourage you to always talk to your partner, because your partner oftentimes is not going to know if you're not telling them, or if you're flinching or doing something that you hadn't done in before. You need to have that open conversation with them. It could be like, hey, I know we like to have this fan on, but if we're going to get down tonight, we're going to cut this fan off because it's going to help dry up things. I don't want to drop faster, and they need to understand that, and why is that happening, and encouraging with them. And your partner can be the most, because it's someone you're already intimate with, you're close with it, and they want to see you win in life just as much as you want to see them win. So taking the opportunity to kind of open up and say, hey, like, this is not feeling the way it used to feel
Yeah.
as well. And I think the last thing I could say about it is that what you did when you were 20, when you were 30, may not be the same thing that you do or that you like when you're 40, 50, 60, or so forth on. You are changing from it. And with that change, we expect other things to change as well.
Mhm.
Opportunity for you to embrace that change from it. That I like this in, but I don't like it. I don't like it now. Let me try something different. Or, oh, you know what? I didn't think about this back then, but like today, okay, let's try this. Let me get into it from that. And that's this important, because you get to love you first, so you be able to love and share it with others.
That's amazing, amazing advice. I really like thinking. I didn't even think about the fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And so you already talked about vaginal dryness and pain during sex and making sure you have lubricant and moisturizers. But I saw somebody on social media talking about using olive oil and like coconut oil. As I could see it as a moisturizer, but they were talking about using it as a lubricant. And I guess it's okay if you're not using it as a lube with condoms, because it will break down the integrity of a condom. But what you think?
So, in short, use caution. Both oils are natural and have moisturizing properties, but they're not always safe for vaginal use, especially with under certain conditions and things from it. So I would say, like a pro, it's natural, it's antimicrobial, so you're not getting a lot of bacteria and things that's coming. It can be moisturizer. It can help with vaginal dryness within that moment from it externally. The risks from those, when I always say lead with caution, is that they can alter your pH. Your pH is already in your vagina, is already being altered, because as we have that decrease in our estrogen, it raises our pH, which makes things, not as acidic as it used to
Mhm.
be, which puts us at risk for yeast infections and all
Mhm.
other kind of infections as well. You also mentioned not being safe with latex condoms, from it can cause breakage. It can also cause some mild dryness, because remember I said it gives you moisturizing for that moment from it, but it really is a moment, and the rebound from that is it can cause some extreme dryness with some sensitivity, because it's not recommended for internal use or frequent use, and it's absolutely going internal from that, which can cause you problems along the way, especially with coconut oil. The olive oil may be safe externally from it, like for the vulva yourself, but not internally for
Yeah.
vaginal use or regular application from that, because it's often a little bit more tolerated. Safer options that can be there for water-based or hydrochloric acid vaginal moisturizers are key, and those are key because it helps with the pH balance, especially within the vaginal environment. It's so key. Silicone-based or water-based lubricants for intercourse, these are often safer. They're less irritating from it for sensitive tissues. Look for things that good clean love. Like this is not like a promoted things from it or from those, but good clean love is one that's good for like pH balance or lubricants from those. There's also suppositories that work well to kind of give you that, where you can get that slippery slope feel, but also not get the dryness that comes afterwards with it. If you're experiencing ongoing vaginal pain or dryness from it, especially during the perimenopause or menopause stage from it, always talk to an informed provider, but specifically for your menopause from it, because we can
You
talk
have a
to you
lot of
about
information.
safe and effective options from a low dose vaginal estrogen. DHEA is a nice supplement that can be utilized as well. Moisturizers for the vaginal vulval tissue can be key there.
Thank you. I'm having a hot flash right now.
So
So
we
look,
gotta,
this is real
yes,
life,
this
guys.
is real life coming through.
Okay. Yes. So that was really good information. Thank you. And no, if anybody wants to send us a sponsorship, Dr. Misher and I are happy to accept any of them.
Yes.
But those are really great options. I think just clarifying some of the things that you see on social media is really important because folks, like one of these sites has, like 40 something thousand people within the group. And, you're recycling information that
Be
could be
harmful.
good, but could
Mhm.
also not be good. Transparently, in preparation for this conversation, I read Dr. Haver's book, The New Menopause, not an endorsement of her book. But one of the things that she suggested for teenage body odor was saw palmetto. Have you heard of that?
Yes, like saw palmetto can be helpful. And I haven't utilized it for like patients that came through. I've also had read her book within amazing from it. And saw palmetto is a plant from a made with berries and has like
Mhm.
fatty tissues and acids and things in it. But it can impact like your hormone modulating effects from it. So hormonal acne, hair thinning, PCOS related symptoms. There's some information on it with reducing like libido fluctuations and hirsutism from it as well. But there's some good research that's around it that can absolutely be helpful with the body odor from it, just kind of calming down from the backside of the androgens and things that's happening from those. So I think it can be helpful.
Okay, so the last thing you talked a little bit about having conversations with your partners, but how should we be preparing partners, just like we're talking about preparing ourselves, for this transitional life? Should we also be preparing partners for this transitional life?
Absolutely. It's so important. If you're a partner that's listening to this or you want to send this, to them, go right ahead. Listen with compassion. And I'm thinking like truly not sometimes we listen, but we listen with the assent to respond from it, but listen with compassion that you can really hear them and learn alongside side your partner. So taking those steps and really talking to them and like, hey, like I've noticed these changes in me that I wanted to share with you. So they can understand the why, who, what, when, where, and the piece of it. So you can invite them in to share how they can best support you and your body from it and not to help to fix it because you don't want somebody to kind of come in and to fix it like they're taking over. It's that partnership, and partnership is so key. And for us as the women, not taking these symptoms personally, the feeling that we have to go through this alone from it. This is a season of change, but it's not a season of aloneness from
Mm.
this. It's often an opportunity to open up and deepen intimacy. So remember when I talked about before, intimacy is not always about physical touch or intercourse and things as well. Oftentimes it can be like we're relating to each other. We're talking, we're listening from it. My husband knows like, hey, I need the water that's going to come through because there's hot flashes may pop up and I need to be able to cool, or hey, this fan is placed here in a specific area from you. So it gives you an opportunity to deepen intimacy in a way that you may not have seen it, and that you're doing this together and kind of walking through. Although men may not have as many changes that's visible as we have that's going on as women, that partnership is so important as well, or whoever your partner may be, being able to walk alongside you and see things from a different perspective. So take that opportunity to kind of walk up. Now, I always encourage women that ask me, don't make that conversation right in the middle of your intimate moments. Maybe that's not the timing is important, key from those. So think about when you want to introduce that from those, so you can give an opportunity for them to respond appropriately from it. So and within that moment.
I love that it deepens intimacy because it really does, right? Anytime you feel someone cares for you in a way that feels necessary in that moment deepens intimacy. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so now many providers we've already talked about are not adequately trained, and even GYNs like gynecologists aren't always adequately trained to treat menopause. What do you want women to know about being the expert in the room?
You are the expert of your body, and I want you to own that. No matter what room you walk into, or if it's a telehealth visit, know that you are the expert of your body. You're absolutely right. As providers, we're not taught a lot about perimenopause, menopause. You get a very, very slim picking of it. And oftentimes it's dyed in with our WHI that we talked about before of what not to do and not how to be able to support it. So to find a provider that truly enjoys, that loves, that really embraces menopause, the cultural aspects of it, and that's always learning and growing is key. It's a great companion to kind of come with you. But the most important is you. You know your body
Mhm.
the best. We can learn as many things in a textbook, but your body may not have been in that textbook, or you had other things that kind of came along with that. So own that and state that. So even if you've came in and you with a sign or symptom that your provider has never heard of, don't allow that to dismiss you from it. They may not have heard of it, but someone else may have. So it gives you an opportunity to rather you may let me approach this from a different perspective, for them, or you know what, let me go locate someone else that can
Yeah.
provide that support from me. I'm with them. Oftentimes, a woman was like, hey, I want to go to my primary care provider or my GYN or OBGYN from that. And they are amazing specialists in primary care or an OB or GYN piece of, but they may not be specialists in menopause from that. And I think what's the most empowering piece of that is for your provider to recognize, like, you know what, this is a great thing from it. I've got to refer you to somebody else that can give you the brisk of that, then go in a little bit more depth. I can get you started, but I'm not sure I'm the best person to equip you along the way with that at this time. And that shows so much ownership and respect. And it gives you an opportunity, like, you know what? Thank you from that. What a resource
Right.
that you may have regarding that. But no matter what room you in, go in with that confidence that I know my body. You're living it in it day in and day out. You know what those experiences are. So don't allow somebody else to tell you what you should or should not be experiencing because you own that. You're the expert.
Absolutely. So thank you, Dr. Misher, for joining us today, giving your wisdom, tools, everything that you have. Before we close out, what's one affirmation or mantra you leave for our listeners to carry with them today?
I mean, biggest one is thriving is the standard. It's not an option from it. No matter what you're doing in life, you always want to thrive with it. So own that from you. And I encourage you today to go do something for yourself from it. That self-care, putting you first from it, not on the back burner, not second to third, putting you first, and you determine what that looks like for you. If it's going for a walk, if it's taking a bath, if it's reading a book from it, or if it's just sitting in your car in solitude from it before you put that garage open and kids come running out. Take that time, for you from it is so key because thriving is the standard.
Absolutely. And we are all about thriving here at um, Crown Talk. So here's your crown check for today. Writing it out is not an option. If your provider does not listen, validate, or do something, you might need a new provider. And resources abound now. I'm going to share the link to Dr. Misher's page so that you can contact her. I know she has a telehealth option as well. I don't know what all states you're in, but I'll get that information and include that. But even if you're unable to book her through actual patient encounter, you still are able to reach out to her, provide contact, maybe do some one-on-one sessions out of pocket. Y'all support Dr. Misher, but also go to her page. Again, there's a abundance of resources on her page, including a journaling option and tool. So if you don't have one or you don't want to use your phone, you want to use an actual tool, she has them. So go to her site, flood her comments and all of that, and tell her how much you enjoyed her sitting with us and giving her information and knowledge. And this has been your health check-in with Crown Talks. We out.